port, which is in Zia's Zeeman channel, you will follow the blue recommended route coming from east direction in between 43 minutes north and 37 minutes north, which are your limits, and then join the green color recommended arrow route, which is L1 about the water channel to approach pilot boarding ground. If your vessel is going for anchorage, you are only allowed to anchor in the recommended anchorage area as marked on the chart, and you cannot anchor in the east and the outer routes which are marked red in color as can be seen on the charts, and this recommended anchorage area is outside VTS area limits. Okay guys, I'll quickly explain you the pilotage and maneuvering for Ningbo port, which is in China. Over here we came from Middle East to India, then via Sri Lanka to Singapore Strait, and from Singapore Strait till here. Approximately it will take you 6 days if you do a good speed of 14 to 15 knots to reach China, Ningbo port. This is a VLGC tanker, so we are going for discharging over here. So as you can see, we had an exit in Singapore over here, and then we approached it like this. So this is a ECA area. We have a emission control area for China. So the baseline of the ECA area is given in the publication. You can mark it, which is we'll have to comply with VLSA 4.5% sulfur content over there as you enter the territorial water of the China. So I will just zoom in. So we went like this. This is Philippines, north of Philippines. From north of Philippines, south of Taiwan, this is Taiwan. So we approached it like this from Taiwan, keeping it on our port side, on the west side, and we approached it like this. So this is the port of Ningbo, which is in China. The approach, how we approached. So this is Taiwan over here, and we almost approached on a northerly course over here. This green line which you see is the ECA line. So as soon as you enter the ECA line, you will have to report it to the MSA. All the detailed email ID and the reporting format I have already attached it in the image. You can have a look. So this is ECA area, which is the territorial waters of the Republic of China, which is 12 nautical miles from this baseline. This is the recommended routes. These two are the recommended routes, which is the east, and this is the outer one. So when you are approaching, you follow the recommended route which is given by the agents to you, otherwise MSA can fine you. So as soon as you enter over here, by 90 degree you alter and you approached it like this through this recommended route which is given by the agent. So this is the lower entry limit and this is the outer entry limit. You have deep water routes over here, as you can see in the approach entry images which I have shown you. If you bypass this, MSA can fine you. So be very careful when you are approaching. Approach only through the L1 line which is given in the image, approach entry by the agent, avoiding going out of this limits. So this is the VTS entering zone 1 on VHF channel 8, this one, which the information you can get it in the LRS volume 6. So you approach it like this. You have a recon over here, and this is the deep water route. Do not enter into this route. You have a pretty depths over here, 18-19 meters. So the recommended route for us is given is north of this deep water route. Do not enter into this channel, otherwise you will be fined. So you enter it like this. You call pilot 1 hour before arrival on VHF channel 09 and 16, and you'll get strong currents over here. So make sure that your courses are adjusted accordingly on hand steering. So the pilot boards somewhere over here at this position. So you can note down the position over here. So I will directly go to the pilotage and maneuvering for Ningbo berth Key Jixian terminal, which is over here. Position you can see over here. I will just zoom in. So this is the position of the Ningbo Key Jixian chemical terminal where we are discharging now the propane cargo. So pilotage and maneuvering was pretty simple. The pilot took us like this. The speed was around 9-10 knots at full maneuvering speed. And then when it was a beam over here, we were already on dead slow ahead and we were turning to port. And at that time, there were two tugs which came. One tug was made in the forward port bow, made fast, and one tug in the port quarter, and there were two more additional tugs on the port side which were used for only for pushing and assisting. So the pilot came like this on dead slow ahead, and we were turning it like this and kept this special mark buoy on the port side, and we approached it like this. When this berth was 1-2 cables away, we started turning like this. Since we were starboard side alongside, we fully turned like this, 1-2 cables from the berth, and the tugs started pushing us towards the berth. So this was the pilotage and maneuvering. One thing you'll have to be careful, the depth over here is 13.4, so our draft was 11.9. so this was the least depth which was encountered during arrival. So as soon as we berth over here, moorings are pretty simple. The springs will go first, forward and aft. It was 4-2-2. So 4-2-2 forward and aft. Two lines at a time, which it will go, all lines will go by heaving line. So first were the springs forward and aft, then breast, and last were the headlines and the stern lines. The depth on the berth over here, the berth is not marked, so that's why I am giving you a position of the berth over here. You can note it down. And since we are starboard side alongside, the depth over here is 14 meters. So your max draft limitation you have over here is 12 meters. For our vessel, the max draft limitation is 12 meters. So depths are not that much, but quickly give you the information regarding the cargo. Now, since we are discharging only one grade of cargo, we have fitted one reducer of 16 inch into 300 NSI on the starboard side. And terminal's max rate is 1500 metric tons per hour. So you discussed this in the pre-cargo meeting, how much max rate your ship has per line. Mine was 2400 meter cubes per hour, so I didn't go above 1300 metric tons per hour approx. So do not exceed the max rate for your ship per line. Second important point, primary communication is VHF channel 10. Backup communication is via phone, which is given to you by the agent who stays on board at all times for any kind of communication and any kind of emergency. Third important point, though it is in the sheltered area, we need to keep an eye and check on the wind speed and also the weather. Wind speed now, as per my SSCL, at 26 knots you need to stop the cargo, or if there is any thunders or lightning, at 34 knots it is disconnection, and at 40-44 knots it is unberthing. And you also discussed one more thing, very important thing in the pre-cargo meeting, that what is the procedure for disconnection. Like this port has they send nitrogen first on their lines and back to our tanks, and after that they will tell you to start your compressor on hot gas mode to clear all the liquid. So be very careful in this, because the last port in China itself, in Yantai, I found out that they were doing hot gas for around 1 hour. So the problem which you will face is at the end of completion of discharge, your tank pressures will be low. So if you run compressors for 1 hour, your tank pressures will come very, very low. So check your ship how much ESD gets activated at tank pressures low, and do not go below that. So discuss the duration, how much duration the hot gas will be, and do not exceed much time for the hot gas in the end. So that's all for the cargo. So this is pre-arrival information in which the NINGBO name of the terminal, King Shi Chemical Terminal, along with the position is given. Maximum permissible draft is 12 meters at low water. I have already told you. Berthing is only permitted at daylight, and berthing time and site to berth is subject to suitable tide. Sailing from jetty, that is departure at night, it is not allowed.